Test, 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 test. Listen close. Oh no. Test, test, test.
Representing Student Council. Set spike. Here comes Addie Schindler representing volleyball. Let's hype it up for Kate Moore representing boys soccer. Huskies on your feet, Ashley Key. Last but certainly not least, we have Reese Kilstead representing the Husky football team. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a huge round of applause for 2025 homecoming team. We also have the winners from the homecoming team. In third place, the dance team. In second place, cross country. In first place, homecoming float, swim and dive. And one final announcement, I have the name of the Husky. The name of the Husky, please we welcome Alec the Husky. Junior varsity dancers will perform a summer kick routine to sled jump. In August, the varsity team competed in 5 team routines and 21 solo songs at the Midwest Grand Championships. The team earned first place in competition routine, kick, and was named large varsity grand champion. The team is invited to perform with Bachelorette at the Milwaukee Bucks game in November and at Walt Disney World in February. Today's team will be hosting a youth clinic on October 8th, dancers 2nd through 8th grade. Clinic dancers will perform at the football game on October 10th. To register, please visit the team's social media pages. And now, please show your support and put your hands together for the Huskies. At this time, we ask you to please rise for the presentation of your nation's colors. Tonight, we are honored to have the Eau Claire Police Department and Eau Claire Sheriff's Department honor guard. And now, to honor America and those defending our freedoms, we ask all to continue standing, remove all headwear for the singing of our national anthem by the North High School Choir under the direction of Catherine Lofi.
Welcome to Eau Claire North High School for tonight's homecoming matchup between your Eau Claire North Husky and the visiting DC Everest Evergreens. I am joined again by Coach Sturgis in the booth and our statistician, Dan Shire. Coach Sturgis, the Huskies coming off back-to-back wins. Feeling pretty good right now of where they're at, but a tough opponent tonight here coming into Eau Claire.
Yeah, you look at the past two wins. The nice thing about those two wins is they did not play great football in either one of those victories. And I think that bodes well for them in improvements. There's a lot of area to improve. And if they play clean football tonight, they can play a competitive game with the Evergreens here. Everest, a pretty complete football team. I don't think they're dominant in any specific area of the game. They just play good, fundamental, sound football. It's obviously a winning culture over there at DC Everest, and that dates back to the 90s and even before then. So, their team knows how to win, and usually when you face teams like that, they don't make many mistakes. So one of the things that the Huskies are going to have to do in their game plan is just going to be to limit the mistakes. Hopefully, the defense the past two games has definitely shown some improvement compared to the first few games that they had this season. So if the defense can still continue to make those improvements, and then offensively just get some breaks. I know we're down to a third string running back, but in Brody Heinbuch, he's a very capable kid. He's got some speed. He was on a school record holding 4x1 that also qualified for state. So he's definitely got the capability and speed to be on a varsity field. But it's just going to matter of that matchup. I know I hate to be cliche, but up front, Everest is solid. And I know offensively it's kind of been one of the weaknesses for the Huskies. So I think at the risk of being cliche, I think that's where it's going to be won and lost tonight, is down in the trenches and up front for both teams.
Yeah, I'm talking with Coach McGinnis. I think he's worried about, matching up with their physicality up front, but he thinks, from an athlete standpoint on the edges, that they match up well, if not have an advantage against most teams. So they're going to try to get the ball out to their athletes in space and hopefully hit a couple big plays. So we are just about set for kickoff tonight on another beautiful night here from our new stadium here at Eau Claire North.
I tell you what,
wonderful homecoming crowd here, and it's a great atmosphere.
That parade was absolutely exceptional. To go through the neighborhoods. We've been doing it at Carson for a very long time, and that's a really cool setting too. Kind of going through the nature, but here, so many more people. A lot of tailgate parties. It was really, really cool to see, and just an unbelievable atmosphere. Now we're joined by Mr. I think Darren. What's your handicap down to now? A 2, I hear.
So the Huskies will be receiving first. So I believe that DC Everest won the toss and they elected to defer. So Aaron Solberg and Nick Tyson back to receive for the Huskies. Number 7, Carson Kempf looks to be doing the kicking for the Evergreens. And we're moments away from bringing you another edition of Husky football.
Carson Kemp to kick off for the Evergreens.
This is something we got to watch. There's a lot of intel on tape that teams are watching of a lot of areas where they can maybe make some big plays on special teams against the Huskies. So it's something that, you know, as you have a few mistakes here and there on special teams are going to attack you a little bit more and more.
So deep kick going to be taken by Tyson inside of the 5s, up the right sideline, and he is going to be met and dropped at the 15 there. Nice tackle by Aiden Schmitz, and the Huskies are going to start from their own 15-yard line here.
One thing we're going to see tonight, you know, in the Everest, like I said, their culture, their program, you're going to see a lot of guys flying to the football. You're going to see a lot of one guy slowing the ball carrier down, 2, 3 more guys piling on. So you're going to see that they play through the whistle. But offensively here, I think the Huskies have some opportunities. They primarily play a cover 3 over the top, and I think you might have some opportunities to open up some potential positive matchups here for Aaron Solberg throughout the evening.
Snap to Shipman. He's going to look to throw. He's got Solberg on the edge and spins out of a tackle, and he's going to be taken down at about the 30. So a nice little play there for the Huskies to get things started.
One thing I really would like to see the Huskies try to do, you know, you're down a few of your big playmakers and Friesen, and just Solberg's just got a capability to absolutely explode and open up some big plays. So it'd be nice to see to get the ball in his hands early here.
Noticing something early here, Kenton Mondu does not seem to be in the game for the Huskies, but he is on the sideline, so something that we'll take a look at here as Brody's taken down in the backfield after a pitch there and didn't have a whole lot of space once he caught it. I think he kind of slipped there a little bit as well.
Second down.
So loss of 4 on that play. Going to bring up a 2nd and 14.
Definitely something to keep an eye on with Kenton. I mean, Kenton's been battling a couple nicks and dings throughout the season, so he is on the sideline with his helmet on right next to Coach McGinnis.
Snap to
He's
Shipman,
ready to go
back
in.
to throw. He's got some time. Going over the middle for Solberg, and just out of his reach. So the Huskies did a nice job there, giving Shipman time to throw. And just as we say that, here comes Kenton. So not sure what that was, but he's back in the game now for this crucial early 3rd down for the Huskies.
Those are those matchups, as we watched film earlier in the week, those are those matchups that I think if Shipman can put the ball on Solberg, I think they can make some big plays here with the right matchups. And they've definitely studied that cover 3 very well. So I think they may use formation shifts as well to get a good matchup for Aaron.
So trips to the left here for the Huskies. Snap to Shipman. He's got a free man, makes a miss. Rolling to his right, and he escapes out of the pocket. He's going to look to run for it. Picks up a couple blocks, and he's pushed out of bounds over the 40.
Picks up a first down.
A big first down scramble there by Zach Shipman. Gain of about 17 and enough for the first down.
That was they had a wraparound blitz. Number 20 from Everest came around. Nathaniel Briggs came around a wraparound blitz and just whiffed on Solberg. Nice play by Solberg, picking up the first down with his legs.
Snap to Shipman, hand to Heinbach off the left side there, and he's going to pick up a couple. And also something we saw last week with the unfortunate injury to Michael Friesen was, you know, Brody came in and we hadn't seen a whole lot of him just in a traditional running back role, but a super impressive effort last week against Memorial.
Yeah, you know, he was over 100 yards rushing in, and I think that says a lot. You know, we were concerned just about the contact. You know, you don't get a whole lot of touches throughout the year, so he was worried about that physical contact right off the bat, and he handled it well.
So 2nd and 8 here for the Huskies, just on their side of the 50. Snap, and Shipman's going to keep this one. Makes a couple of Evergreens miss, and he's going to be taken down from behind. But after a nice pickup of the ball 5 or 6 there, and it's going to make it a 3rd and 2 from the 49.
And this is something we've seen the Huskies struggle with a little bit here, these 3rd and short yardages. It's earlier in the season, there was a lot of just Shipman keep it. We saw Friesen kind of avoid a little bit of contact, but with Kenton Mondo on the left side there, it kind of makes things a little bit easier to just pick up these 2 yards.
3rd and 2 for the Huskies. Shipman's going to keep, and he's going to try the left side, and that time he is going to be stopped in the backfield and dropped for a loss of 2. Bring up a 4th and 4 situation.
That was just a basic power play to the left there. The unfortunate thing is our pulling guard just was a little slow getting around there, and Everest plugged that hole up very quickly with a nice quick linebacker. Couldn't quite get to him in time.
So Huskies have had some issues on special teams this year, especially in the punt game. So let's see if they can protect up front and hopefully pin the Evergreens back deep in their own territory here. So Aaron Solberg back to do the punting. Good snap, and gets that one away. Low line drive kick over the Evergreen head, and it's going to bounce out close to the pylon, and it's going to be a touchback. I do think that bounced right through the end zone. But a nice job there by Aaron Solberg. Did it off, just got an unfortunate bounce there, and the Evergreens are going to start from their own 20.
Yeah, it's one of those things with special teams. Again, it's when you put stuff on film where you're making mistakes, and other teams are getting punt blocks and bad snaps, you're definitely seeing teams are going to be able to scheme for that, and they're going to make that a point to pressure the punt team. Good job all around there, snap, kick, coverage. Just a last-minute unfortunate bounce.
So 1st and 10 here for the Evergreens. Sophomore quarterback Ty Rohde for the Evergreens. And take the snap, hand off over the right side, and he's got some space. And spun down across the 40 there. Number 2, Corbin Enzenroth there with a nice gain of about 20 on 1st down for the Evergreens.
It's something we've seen with the Husky defense earlier this year, too. They just kind of start off slow, not very physical, and then they kind of turn it up a little bit as the game goes on. They're definitely going to need to turn it on right away off the bat with this team. They got to be physical.
Rohde in the pistol here with Enzenroth. Up to the shotgun now. Snap, hand to the wing back there over the right side again, and breaks an arm tackle, breaks another one, and is going to be wrapped up by a gang of Huskies there, but not until after a 1st down. So a nice run there by Andrew Bankston. Another sophomore, so a couple of sophomores here for the Evergreens, taking on big roles already for the offense. So 1st and 10 here for the Evergreens from the Eau Claire North 43. Yep, Brody's going to keep. He's looking over the seam and just overthrows his intended target. Nice coverage there by the Huskies. It's going to bring up 2nd and 10.
Evan Thurston right on the hip pocket of the receiver. Also had secondary coverage over the top. Can't see that number right now, but good coverage from both ends.
And apologies to Grandma Thurston. I called Evan by the wrong name a few times, and he let me know that she wasn't pleased with me when I saw him in the hallway this week. So Evan Thurston there on the coverage. So 2nd and 10 here from the 43.
Coach McGinnis's dad down in the stands, I see.
Snap and handoff to Enzenroth over the left side this time, and he's got some space and breaks a couple of tackles, still on his feet, and eventually going to be pushed down inside the 20. A couple Huskies there were in kind of position and just a little hesitant, and a big gain for the Huskies.
Yeah, that's just those fundamental mistakes. Elijah Edwards in position, in a beautiful position to make an open field tackle. Just kind of broke down fundamentally.
Actually, a pretty nice job by the Huskies there. Brady Andrew kind of turning that play back inside, and then there just wasn't anybody to fill that gap there. So 1st and 10 for the Evergreens at the 20. Little shift here. Huskies are going to shift along with them. Snap and hand to Enzenroth over the right side. Huskies do a nice job of stringing this out. And a nice tackle made there by Evan Thurston there on the tackle. So only a pickup of a couple there for the Evergreens.
Definitely was Evan that time. It was not Mason.
It was a nice job. There's a couple times we've seen the edge get sealed for North here, and 2 back-to-back plays there. That outside guy kind of kept his shoulder free, strung that out, and that time they did a good job pursuing the football.
We're seeing Coach Sonny do that. He's getting the guys in the right spots quite a few times.
So 2nd and 8 here. Snap, little jet sweep here. There's a lot of space out here. And he's going to be taken down after a pickup of about 12 down to the 5. So a little misdirection there from the Evergreens. Xavier Edwards on the end around. And it's going to bring up a 1st and goal at the Eau Claire North 5-yard line.
Tackled by Brady Andrews. That's a name we've been hearing a lot more over the past couple weeks, especially through that win streak. He's made a lot of really good positive progress throughout the season. So hopefully he can keep building on that. Nice tackle there, a little high with his technique, but making quite a few improvements.
1st and goal, Rhodey up under center now. Toss to Enzenroth and try to get the edge. And we got a flag here.
We're going to get a hold on number.
They're going to make the tackle.
Going to get a hold on number 90, I believe. Held our end. They're trying to stretch it out, and the Husky was.
Yeah, just kind of tackled on the play there.
Yeah.
Brady Andrew there, I think, got held.
Yeah, and that's Brady making a play. I mean, that was Brady recognizing the play, trying to get out of that, and the only hope he had was to hold him.
So we're going to back the Evergreens up 10 and bring up a 1st and goal from the 15, actually all the way back to just outside the 17 here. So let's see if the Husky defense can take advantage here.
6:16 left in the first quarter. Much faster pace of a game than we're used to the past couple of weeks. Actually, might be done.
Snap to Rhodey. Toss to Enzenroth here on the edge. He's going to cut it up. And met by a few different Huskies there after a pickup of just 2. And it's going to make it 2nd and goal from the 15. So nice job there by North of getting outside and turning that play back up.
Really nice play by Owen Rupert to step in there. And again, he's one that has made some nice progress too as the season went on. He struggled with, especially pass coverage earlier in the season. But it's definitely nice seeing him get a little more physical as the season goes on. I believe he had a pick last week too.
So 2nd and goal from the 15. Rhodey with a couple of backs in the backfield here. Snap to Rhodey, looking to his right. He's going deep for Edwards, and it is knocked away. Nice play there by number 9, Elliott Spies. Really nice coverage and tipped that one away.
Elliott Spies was back in coverage, engaged with the guy, but he saw the pass released, caught it out of the backfield, and released off of his guy. Just backpedaled and made a really nice play on that.
Really good assignment football there of Elliott staying in his zone and making a nice play on the football.
Xavier Edwards, 6'3", 185, the senior wide receiver from Everest. A really good-looking athlete, very good receiver.
So Everest coming out here, 3rd and goal, trips to the right. Rhodey in the shotgun. Here's the snap, looking right. He's got it to Edwards. He's going to try a little tunnel screen. He's wrapped up. He's still free. Coming backwards. Now he's taken out from behind by Elliott Spies for a loss of about 13 on the play. And it's going to bring up 4th and goal from the 27-yard line. So
Elliott Spies
the Evergreens choose to do here.
Just not giving up. The kicker here for the Evergreens has a very good leg. You saw it on the kickoff. Totally capable. I think in pregame I saw him easily hitting 40-yarders. I would assume anything inside of 50 is probably easily within his range.
So Carson Kempf coming on for the field goal here. It's going to be a 45-yard attempt. I'll tell you what, just the gains that the high school kicking game has made, in the last few years is pretty incredible. We saw Aaron Solberg make about a 46-yard field goal last week. So Here is the kick from Kempf, and it is up, and it is wide left. So the Husky defense holds.
Plenty of leg.
First and goal on the 5, and they're going to take over at the 20-yard line.
Plenty of leg on that kick, just pulled it left. So again, you see that. I think looking ahead in this game, if the Huskies keep it close, those could be key and pivotal points. Is not only future field goals. I think anything inside of 50 is going to be an easy decision for them whether to kick or go for it.
And we go back to that 3rd and goal play. I think the Evergreens went with that little tunnel screen, just hoping to maybe pick up a couple of yards, settle for the field goal. But with the negative play, when Edwards kind of tried to make something out of nothing, kind of ran himself out of field goal range a little bit. So 1st and 10 for the Huskies here at the 20. Huskies going on a hard count there. Almost got the Evergreens to jump. So back a little check with me to the sideline. Coach Fredrickson signaling in plays. Shipman's going to move Heinbuch to the other side of him. Snap, Zach, quarterback draw over the left side. Makes a couple of guys miss. And he's going to be taken down up near the 27-yard line. So a nice pickup of 7 there.
Nice little nifty run by Shipman. He's kind of that little spin move that he has is kind of coined to that throughout the season, and you always worry about somebody when they spin like that, ball security especially, and Shipman has put it on the ground once or twice this season, but certainly proved effective there.
2nd and 3 at the 27. Clock ticks under 4 minutes here in the first quarter. Snap to Shipman, handoff to Heinbuch. He is going to be stopped after a pickup of about 1. So there's not a whole lot there in that interior early, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and 2 for the Huskies.
You see what the Huskies choose to do here. Last couple of plays, I mean, they've had opportunities to go, especially that last play. I don't know if that was an RPO or not, but definitely had an opportunity to hit Solberg over the top.
So snap to Shipman. He's going to roll to his right. And he's going to throw it away under some pressure. So the Evergreens did a nice job there covering everything up on that little flood look for the Huskies. And it's going to bring up a 4th and 2 from their own 28. You know, it looked like there that the tight end was kind of, or Blake Burns was trying to sneak out there and got kind of caught up in traffic there. And I think that's who Shipman was waiting to come through and develop a little bit. But
Evergreens did a really nice job of stretching that play out, too, and not giving Shipman any room to gain there, or any sight lines even to open up for a pass.
So punting situation here for the Huskies. Evergreens seem to be setting up for a return here. Not as good of a kick here from Solberg. It's going to land out of bounds. Let's see where they mark this. Should be right around the 45, I would think. Okay. 43-yard line. I think we got a couple extra yards there, but we'll take it. So, an okay punt from Aaron Solberg, and the Evergreens are going to take over 1st and 10 on their own 43.
3:02 left here in the first. This will be a big stop for the Huskies here. If you can get into the second quarter with a 0-0 score, that's a big victory at this point in time. So defense just needs to keep stepping it up, playing physical, focus on the fundamentals and the pre-snap assignments.
So Rhodey with Enzenroth in the backfield. Handoff to Enzenroth, little delay up the middle, and he's going to fall forward for a pickup of about 4. So Tice Gorman on the tackle there for the Huskies. Going to bring up 2nd and 6. 2.5 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. 0-0 score. Snap to Rhodey, going to give it to the second guy through. And he is going to be close to a first down, and I think he has it. So handoff to Andrew Bankston there. Nice patient run there from the sophomore. Was able to feel his way through there for a first down.
Yeah, it's a good play design, and I think you're going to see a healthy dose of that. They come in from the wing, come in a bubble motion, bubbles behind the quarterback, and then it acts as a basically a power. They pull a guard through the hole, lead with the other running back, creates a lot of room in there that the Huskies just aren't plugging up yet.
1st and 10 here for the Evergreens in Husky territory now. Man in motion for the Evergreens. Ball through Rody's hands. He's still going to look to throw it. He's got his man. And he's going to be wrapped up for a loss of about 4. So nice job there by the Huskies. Brady Andrew there with the tackle. As Colin Hooks was dropped for a loss of 4.
Brady Andrew did a really nice job of just coming to balance. We call that coming to balance, and the kid lowers his hips, kind of comes to settle into it. Doesn't come in too high. Made a really nice tackle. Made sure to wrap him up and secure that before he took him to the ground. 1:10 left here.
2nd and 14 here from midfield. Evergreens shift again. Snap to Rody, hand to Evan Roth, and he's through the middle, lowers his shoulder, and he's up near a first down. I think he's going to be just a yard short. Kind of had him hit at about 5 yards down the field there, and he was able to roll right off that tackle. It's going to bring up a 3rd and short for the Evergreens.
Yeah, really good body awareness there by Ezenroth. You can just see he's just a really good awareness of where he is and what he's got around him.
So 3rd and 1 here for DC Everest. Snap, hand to Evan Roth. He's going to be hit in the backfield, but he's going to fall forward for a gain of about 2. It's going to be enough for a first down.
That will likely take us to the first quarter, unless Everest wants to hurry up and get a play off here. 24 seconds left as soon as they set the ball and set the chains, and the clock rolls now.
1st and 10, DC Everest here at the 34. Looks like the Evergreens are going to get one more playoff here in the first quarter. Snap, hand to Evan Roth over the right side. He's got some space. He's going to be tripped up after a pickup of about 11. Looked like Evan Thurston there with maybe a touchdown-saving tackle there for the Huskies, and that is going to bring us to the end of the first quarter. So the Evergreens are driving, but at the end of 1, we have a 0-0 score, and we're going to step away for a moment, and we'll be back with you shortly. Welcome back to Eau Claire North as we get ready to start the second quarter here. So the score, Eau Claire North 0, DC Everest 0. Evergreens are driving though, so a 1st and 10 at the Eau Claire North 23. Let's see if the Husky defense can hold again. Snap to Rody. He's going to keep it. He's getting out to Edwards on the edge, and he's got some space. And he's going to be wrapped up after about a first down. So nice play design there. Got Edwards kind of one-on-one out there with Caden Caldwell. And Edwards was able to kind of run away with him for a first down.
Yeah, Everest, the way the Huskies play their defense, they're going to roll out their outside backers on those slot receivers. So it's going to be a good play design. And if they see those matchups, they'll take that all day long with that athlete against an outside backer.
So 1st and 10 here from the 13. Hand off to Evan Roth over the right side. He's going to look to cut it up, and he's going to break through a couple of tackles, find the corner for a touchdown. Owen Rupert seems to be injured on the play, and Evan Roth was able to scamper in from 12 yards out. And that is going to make the score 6-0, DC Everest.
That play was a perfect example of why you're going to need to play a fundamental football against the Evergreens. Bear Woolley came in, the running back was wrapped up. Bear Woolley came in and just tried to lower a shoulder, and the running back just bounced off. You're going to have to wrap up. Second and third guy are going to have to wrap up in those tackles.
Evergreens here with a little swinging gate look. And they're going to come right back into a traditional extra point look. As Carson Kempf is on for the extra point. Snap, hold, kick is up and good. So with 11 minutes remaining in the second quarter, the score is now DC Everest 7, Eau Claire North 0. So recap of that play. Started in the first quarter and went into the second quarter, but it was a 7-play drive for 57 yards. Took 4 minutes and 2 seconds and ended with the 13-yard touchdown run by Corbin Engenroth. So, how do we look for the Huskies to try to respond here?
You know, it's going to be one of those things. They have not had the ball that long. The defense has actually been playing well. You know, kind of the bend, not break mentality. And they've been doing a solid job. Just a couple of fundamental mistakes here and there. Pre-snap assignments and reads seem to be spot on. Now it's just going to be, you know, finishing tackles, wrapping up, making sure we are in good position. Now for the offense here, kind of another important drive. They haven't had it much, but it'd be nice to see them get a couple of first downs here, extend something, and come away with some points.
So Kempf ready to kick off here for the Evergreens, and did a really nice job last time. A deep, high kickoff. Let that coverage team get down there. You know, and kick returns have been kind of a spark plug for the Huskies here through this year. So let's see if they can get a big return here. So this one's going to go to Solberg, taken at the 5. He's going to look over to his right, cut back to the left, and breaks a couple of tackles, and he's going to be out across the 20. And the Huskies are going to start 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line.
One of the things that we see a difference with a kicker like this, Everest's kicker is kicking it really high and deep. And from a timing standpoint, that just gives a lot more time for your cover team to get down. You know, when some of the bigger kickoff returns that the Huskies have had earlier in the season, you're seeing kind of a lower drive, maybe a squib that gets down there, so there's not as much time. Kicker like this, you got to engage in your blocks a lot longer.
So 1st and 10 for the Huskies here. Looks like Gavin Cervantes there in the backfield with Shipman to start this drive. And they're going to give it to Cervantes, and he's up the middle, and he's going to be wrapped up by a couple of Evergreens, more than a couple, after a pickup of about 2. And they're going to bring up a 2nd and 8.
Gavin's another good-looking athlete, younger kid, not a lot of experience. First meaningful snaps on the varsity football field. Ball security is going to be important here for him.
So 2nd and 8 here.
New receiver for the Huskies we haven't seen much this season, number 17, Avery Hernandez.
Snap to Shipman, back to throw. He's looking deep, and he gets taken down up high. Here comes the flag. So an Evergreen was able to get through, looked like number 8, Jake Ruther, but a very high tackle up around the helmet. And we did have a flag down.
I believe they're calling a face mask. Looking at the replay, it did look like he did grab his face mask and pulled his head to the side.
personal foul. White, a 15-yard penalty.
So 15-yard penalty for a face mask there. So Huskies did a nice job initially of kind of blocking it up, and a kind of a delayed look there from the Evergreens. So it'll be a first down for Eau Claire North.
Yeah, those are going to be tough plays for the Huskies to make. We know the O-line has had a little bit of a challenge this season holding their own, and it was a double move route on the edges that they're trying to hit for a big play. Again, I like the matchup, and it was there, but that's going to be tough. They're going to have to get the ball out quick tonight again.
So it was 2nd and 8 on the 24. It was 2nd and 8. So it should have been 15 yards. And somehow we're in a 2nd and 1 situation. So 2nd and 1 here for the Huskies. And Cervantes, and he's going to be stopped right at the line. So it's going to bring up a 3rd and 1. So Coach Shire, is that not a automatic first down? So we think it should have been, but apparently not. So it is going to bring up a 3rd and 1 situation here for the Huskies.
Expect to see Shipman maybe keep this ball toted off the left side behind Kenton. Under 5.
And we are going to get a timeout by Coach McGinnis and the Huskies here. So with 9:22 remaining in the second quarter, the score DC Everest 7, Eau Claire North 0. We are going to step away for a moment. And we are back. So a crucial 3rd and 1 here for the Huskies from their own 31 here. Shipman in the shotgun. Snap to Zach. He's going to look up the middle, and he has enough for the first down. He's up around the 35. So a pickup of about 5 there for the Huskies, and a big first down to keep this drive going.
That was just a straight power with Shipman keeping it on the left side, bringing a number of lead blockers. Pretty easy way to pick up a first down.
So 1st and 10 at the 35. Cervantes still in the backfield with Shipman. Snap to Zach. Little misdirection here. He's got Solberg, and he's going to be wrapped down for a pickup of about 2. Really nice job there by the Everest defender to stay home.
Yeah, good discipline there on the backside. They had 2 guys kind of waiting for him. Solberg able to avoid the first one, but second one slowed him down. And again, we see that flow, the defensive flow. The Everest defense recovered very quickly, flowed to the ball, and got a number of guys in on the tackle.
Tell you what, if that first Everest guy doesn't stay home and Solberg turns that corner, it could have been a big play for the Huskies. So 2nd and 7 from the 38. Tyson in motion. And little read option. Shipman's going to keep it up the middle, and he's got some space. And he's going to be spun down into Evergreen territory. And it's going to be a 1st and 10, Eau Claire North from the DC Everest 44.
Really like that play designed by Coach McGinnis. Really spreading out their defense, giving them a couple looks. They've put that jet pass. It's a pass because they usually toss it forward to the jet motion. They've put that on film a lot this year. They've had a little bit of success with it. Spread them out. Nice little read up the middle.
Really nice job there by left guard Cashin Kynes to get to the second level. Get a nice block that really sprung Shipman there. So 1st and 10 from the 44 here. Huskies getting lined up here. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Snap to Shipman, back to throw. And he's got Solberg there for a nice pickup of about 5 to the 39. So nice pickup there on 1st down for the Huskies.
I really like that play in that concept of just take what they're going to give you. If they're going to play that soft, and I think you're going to see that with Solberg and the coverage and the matchups that we kind of anticipated that Solberg could be able to win. So if they're going to play that far back, just a nice little hitch, get the ball out of Shipman's hand fast, pick up a nice quick 5.
2nd and 5 here for the Huskies. Hand to Cementis, and he is going to be wrapped up after no gain on the play there. Just a little hesitant there for Gavin, which is to be expected, getting his kind of first carries here in a varsity game. But to see him get more comfortable as the game goes on.
Yeah, and I like the idea. I mean, we saw Heinbuck on the sideline there, just kind of sitting there. But Gavin is the next man up, so he needs to start getting some plays because he is going to have to take some snaps. So you got to get him used to taking those hits and get some experience out on the field.
So 3rd and 5 here for the Huskies.
Empty backfield here.
Snap to Shipman. He's got a rusher, and he's going to be taken down for a sack. Number 7, Carson Kempf there, came in almost unblocked and dropped Shipman for a loss of about 10 there, and it's going to bring up 4th and 15.
Everest only brought 4 there to the Huskies' 5 linemen. It's going to be a long night if the Huskies up front can't win 4 on 5.
So that sack kind of ends a promising Eau Claire North drive. Solberg back to punt. Let's see if the Evergreens bring a little pressure here, and they do, and he gets the kickoff. A nice end-over-end kick. Gonna drive the Evergreen receiver back inside his own 10, and does a nice job there with a return up to the 30. So nice kick there by Aaron Solberg. Nice return there by the Evergreens. They're going to take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
A really nice job of Solberg there getting that one off. They brought the pressure again that we've seen, and I like that Solberg's getting it off a little bit quicker. The snaps seem to be coming back a little bit faster tonight too.
Silas Weber there on the return for the Evergreens. So 5:25 remaining here in the second quarter. DC Everest with a 7-0 lead. This is going to be a big drive here in this game with the Huskies getting the ball at the other side of the half too. Nice job by the Eau Claire North defense there. Corbin Enzenroth with a pickup of only a couple on 1st down. It's going to bring up 2nd and 8. Bankston on the carry there for the Evergreens. So 2nd and 8. Enzenroth in the backfield with Rhodey. And Enzenroth is going to get this one, and he's got some room over the right side. He's down to the sideline, and he's going to be taken down inside Eau Claire North territory. Looks to have stepped out at about the 44. Another nice patient run there by an Evergreen back.
Evergreen's just sealing the edge, a little too easy. Outside backers there just got to try to stretch that out as much as possible, allow for more time to get some other support from some blue jerseys.
So 1st and 10 for DC Everest. Snap to Rhodey, looking to his right. He's under some pressure. He's going to scramble here, and he's got some space down the left sideline. 10-5, touchdown. Let's see what they rule. think he stepped out at the 3-yard line. So really nice scramble there by Ty Rohde. Pick up about 40, and it's going to bring up a 1st and goal at the 2-yard line.
We know Ty's a very good athlete. He can move. He's mobile. We just haven't seen it yet tonight, and that's going to pose a challenge for the Huskies here throughout the remainder of the game, making sure to contain him.
Nice job there by the Huskies to create a little pressure there. Did a nice job in the back end, but Rohde was able to make one guy miss in the backfield, and he was off to the races. So 1st and goal at the 2 now. Enzenroth in the backfield with Rohde. And he's going to hand it to Enzenroth, and he's going to walk in for a touchdown. And that is going to make the score DC Everest 13, Eau Claire North 0.
Corbin Enzenroth, here to carry.
Easy pickings there for the Evergreens. Just collapse the line down, pull a guard around, put a lead blocker through, and Huskies didn't have much there to stop it. First time we've really seen the Huskies out of position here on a couple of plays. Got good pressure on the quarterback, but second level, still a little out of position there.
The Evergreens are going to snap this one, and it looks to be in for the 2-point conversion. So they were in the swinging gate, snapped it right to Jake Ruther, and he was able to run right up the middle there for the conversion.
That's just a numbers game when it comes to the swinging gates. All they're doing is looking at numbers and matchups, and the Evergreens had 4-on-4 right there in the middle, along with a blocker for the quarterback. So that's an easy decision by them.
So the Evergreens now lead 15-0 after that 4-play, 70-yard drive. It only took 57 seconds off the clock, capped off by a 2-yard run by Enzenroth. And the big play on that drive was the 40-yard scamper by Ty Rohde. So 4:28 remaining here in the second quarter. And let's see if the Huskies can put a drive together here at the end of the first half and maybe get some points on the board as we go into halftime.
Yeah, the big thing here is just going to be control the clock. Try to chew up some of this 4:28 here. Get points on the board would be ideal.
Facing back for the Huskies.
So Kempf with the kick here. Going to be taken by Solberg inside of the 5. He's going to look over to his right here and going to be wrapped up and taken down. Looked like he had a little bit of space there, and a nice tackle there by the Evergreen special team. So it's going to, Huskies are going to start this drive 1st and 10 on their own 23-yard line. The Evergreens have done a really nice job of limiting kind of big plays, chunk plays for the Huskies. And let's see if they're able to get something maybe here on the perimeter and get a big gainer here at the end of this first half. Snap to Shipman, hand to Solberg, and try to get the corner, and he's not going to get there, and he is dropped for a loss by Jake Ruther. Or maybe no gain on the play, so they did try to get to the perimeter there, and the Evergreens did a nice job of stringing that one out.
Nice play by the Everest safety coming up to make that play. Or that was the outside backer, Brody Heinbuch, trying to line up with the backer, and that's going to be a pretty big size discrepancy there.
Huskies got to get this ball snapped, and They just got it off here. Shipman back to throw. He's under some pressure, and he's going to be dropped for a loss of 7 on the play. And it's going to bring up a 2nd and 18. Sorry, 3rd and 18 here. And the Evergreens are going to take their first time out of the half, try to save some clock here, try to get the ball back.
Yeah, it's just a tough goal there, and when you're trying to take some deep shots there. I know Shipman has dropped back a handful of times and hasn't even been able to get the ball off. So you're going to have to, hopefully get this to half without any more points on the board for the Evergreens, and then just try to make some adjustments up front where you can get some more chunk plays or take some more shots over the top. Because you saw earlier in the game, Huskies be able to stretch the ball out and throw it downfield a couple of times, but they do not have that time in the backfield right now to be making those plays.
Let's see what Coach McGinnis tries to do here on 3rd and 18. If they try to take a deep shot here, try to just pick up a few yards, flip field position, run some clock. We'll see what the Huskies have drawn up here. So 4 receiver look here for the Huskies. Snap to Shipman, rolling right. He's under pressure right away, and he's caught from behind and dropped for a loss by Nathaniel Briggs. And again, Shipman just had no time to throw on that one. Another timeout here by the Evergreens.
DC Everest just has the number right now for the O-line of the Huskies. Just between they're not even really doing anything special. They're just bringing guys to certain gaps, and their Huskies are outnumbered, and they're not shifting their protection, and that just creates havoc.
So 2:58 remaining in the first half here. North is going to be punting here from their own 3. So you always kind of worry about the protection here from kicking in their deep in their own end. Hopefully the Huskies are able to block this one off and give themselves a little bit of breathing room here for this next Evergreen drive.
These are something special team should be practicing. You're backed up in your own territory. Solberg has to make sure he doesn't go down on a knee to field the snap. If it's low, he's got to make sure his heels don't touch out of bounds. I would anticipate Everest not to bring a whole lot of pressure here, especially with 2:58 on the clock, and a anticipated short field here.
So Weber back to receive for the Evergreens. And Solberg does get it off. Little end-over-end kick to the right. Weber's going to take it at the 45, and he's got some space. Full steam ahead, and he is up over the 20, 10, 5, and he's going to be taken down at the 3-yard line. Really nice job there by Silas Weber. Caught that with a running start, and he just was not stopping.
Number 11, Silas Weber in the return.
Yeah, I think the Huskies were so focused on just blocking any pressure up the middle after the snap that they only had about 3 guys that made it more than 10 yards downfield. I think that focus was just so much on protecting Solberg to get the kickoff that they lacked in the coverage there.
2:45 remaining here. Evergreens are going to take over 1st and goal at the 4-yard line after that return by Weber. Off to Ensign Roth, and he is close, and he's going to be taken down just inside the 1. So it's going to be 2nd and goal from inside the 1-yard line for the Evergreens. Brody up under center. Ball's on the ground. And
Huskies got it. Huskies got the ball.
So a fumble into the end zone is going to result in a touchback. Something you always worry about with a team that's primarily out of the shotgun. They go under center and they can't handle the snap. So it is going to be a touchback.
Refs talked about it a little bit. Everybody's in agreement. Just the break they need right now. Take it any way you can get it. Nice thing there is Evergreens burnt a couple timeouts there. Huskies got 2 left. Be really big momentum going into halftime if Huskies can put some points on the board here.
So Huskies are going to take over 1st and 10 on their own 20, 2:18 remaining, and that is the break that they needed there. So twice now the Evergreens have been in 1st and goal situations inside the 5 and come away without points a couple of times. So Eau Claire North is going to need to take advantage of this.
You know, you make a good point earlier saying Evergreens primarily go out of the shotgun. They went one other time under center earlier in the game, and that actually resulted in another loss, big loss down inside the 5 on the other drive.
Tyson in motion here. And Shipman's going to keep it, and a little bit too much dancing there by Zach in the backfield, and a pickup of 1.
Yep, and that's something we're going to see, as I said earlier, with how fast Everest flows to the ball. You know, dancing around when you're playing teams like Superior and maybe Memorial, you're not getting as much backside pressure. But if you're going to dance around the backfield like that, Evergreens are going to be coming from the backside pressure. They just have a great motor. They're going to continue to just pursue the ball until it's down, until the whistle blows.
So minute 40 remaining here, 2nd and 10 from the Eau Claire North 20. Snap to Shipman, back to throw. He's got some time. He's looking over the middle for Tyson, and ball was over his head. He was covered there, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and 10 with a minute and a half remaining.
The matchup they believe, again, you see Solberg on number 4 there, but a huge cushion. Seems like Shipman maybe just staring down his receivers a little bit there, having kind of pre-snap decisions.
So McGinnis is going to take a timeout here. And with 1:29 remaining in the 2nd quarter, score is DC Everest 15, Eau Claire North 0. We'll step away for a moment and be back with you shortly. We are back. So 3rd and 10 from the 20. Snap to Shipman. And he's under pressure right away, and he is going to be dropped for another loss. Everest is going to go ahead and use their 3rd timeout here. It's going to stop the clock with 1:23 remaining.
That time Everest brought more than what the Huskies had prepared for. They even kept it back in to help block and pick that up, but just outmanned there, ran right past them. Expect to see the Evergreens. I wouldn't be shocked to see them bring some pressure here off the left edge.
So Solberg kicking from his own end zone again. little confusion here. We did have a timeout there. All right.
Timeout, Everest.
So at halftime tonight, because it is homecoming, we have some inductees into the Eau Claire North Husky Hall of Fame that will be honored on the field. Coach Sturgis, just want to give us some names quick?
Yeah, we got Gretchen Bachmeyer, a very impressive list there. Gretchen Bachmeyer, tennis, track and field, and basketball player. Jessica France, Jessica Kent, as people probably remember her. Very impressive career in swimming, basketball, and track as well. Mason Phillips in wrestling and baseball, notorious for his state title his senior year in wrestling. Eric Skifstead in track, soccer, football, and basketball. And also Ken Van Ness, just kind of a long time active booster and spent numerous years involved in many of the aspects of Husky athletics.
So Huskies looking to kick this one away. Weber back to receive again for the Evergreens. Good snap, and Solberg gets that one off. A little bit shorter of a kick. Going to be taken by Weber at the 40. He's looking over the right side this time. Breaks a couple of tackles. Has the sideline again. Is going to be taken down over the 20. And that is where the Evergreens are going to take over 1st and 10 with 1:12 remaining in the second quarter.
Much better coverage there by the Huskies. A little more prepared for that punt. They did bring some pressure, had to rush the punt, but overall, solid job by the coverage team.
It is 1st and 10 Evergreen.
So Rhodey here in the shotgun, joined by Enzenroth. Snap to Rhodey, looking left, rolling that way, under some pressure, and it's going to be thrown a little bit high over his intended receiver, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and 10 situation.
Brings up 2nd down.
Huskies have done a nice job tonight, getting a little pressure on Rhodey, making him uncomfortable there in the backfield.
Yeah, they haven't had to pass much, but the times they do have to pass, the Huskies are collapsing the pocket pretty quickly and nicely.
Snap to Rhodey, back to throw. Setting up a screen here, a little bit high, and going to be caught by Enzenroth, and he's going to be wrapped up for a gain of about 5. Clock is going to run here as it ticks under a minute now, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and 5 situation. 45 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Clock is still running here. Evergreens are trying to get set.
They're definitely well within field goal range here. Watch that matchup on the top, Elijah Edwards.
Snap to Rhodey. Actually, a little bit of a draw to Enzenroth, and he's going to be taken down at the 11. And short of a first, no, they're going to give him the first down. That is a big call there. That's going to stop the clock momentarily here.
Evergreens with 0 timeouts left. They're out of timeouts for this half. So anything now tackled to inbounds is going to be a running clock. We're down to 15 seconds on the play clock.
1st and goal here for Everest. Rhodey's going to look for the end zone. He's got a man, and it is caught. Xavier Edwards with the touchdown. 10-yard pass from Rhodey is going to make the score 21-0 DC Everest. Good coverage there by the Huskies, but just a nice throw there by Rhodey, put in a spot where his 6'3" receiver was able to go up and get it.
Yeah, there's not many guys on our team, let alone the conference, that are going to be able to cover Edwards there. Xavier Edwards. Nice frame on him, good size, but that was also a really good well-placed ball.
So Kempf on for the extra point here. Kick is up and good. So with 8 seconds remaining here in the second quarter, that is going to make the score DC Everest 22, Eau Claire North 0. And we're back. So 8 seconds remaining here in the second quarter as the Evergreens get ready to kick this one away. Deep kick by Kempf, going to be taken by Solberg at about the 15 as he runs to his right. He's got a little bit of space through a couple of tackles, and he's going to be taken down over the 40, and that is going to end our first half. So, at halftime, the score is DC Everest 22, Eau Claire North 0.
They're holding the teams on here for a second.
If there's a clock issue or... Nope, that is going to be the end of the half. So,
Nope.
we... Yep, little confusion there. So it is the end of the half. And so, score is DC Everest 22, Eau Claire North 0. And we will be back with you for the halftime presentation. And then for the second half.
Tonight we are proud to induct 5 new members into the North High School Athletics Hall of Fame. First up, we have Ken Maness. Ken moved to Eau Claire in 1972 and after graduating from UW-La Crosse and accepting a job at the Eau Claire Parks and Recreation Department. Every year since, he has dedicated his professional life to enriching the lives of the children in Eau Claire. A Northside resident for more than 50 years, Ken has made immense contributions to North High School athletics and generations of young people who have played Husky sports. His achievements have included refereeing Big Rivers Conference basketball for more than 30 years, including 9 WIAA state tournament appearances and 7 state championship games. He has served as a junior varsity and assistant varsity girls basketball coach for 5 years. Ken has also coached Husky varsity summer girls basketball teams for 11 years. He operated the Doghouse scoreboard and did the scorebook for 7 years, and the Carson Park scoreboard for more than 50 years. Ken has served as the Husky Booster Club president, working at Husky volleyball, track meets, and basketball camps. Supporting his 3 children, competing across 7 different sports. Ken and Becky are proud parents of NHS graduates Chris, 2004, Katie, 2007, and Laura, 2010. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Husky inductee is Jessica Kent Brandt. Jessica graduated in 1995 and earned 11 letters in swimming, basketball, and track. In swimming, she set and still holds the record in the 50 freestyle and the 4x100 freestyle relay. She is an all-time top 10 record holder in every stroke and distance and a state qualifier in 1993, 94, and 95. In basketball, Jessica was an all-conference player in 1993, 94, and 95. In 94-95, she was the BRC leading scorer, North MVP, and scored 33 points in a game. In track, she was a conference champion in the 110-meter hurdles and a member of 4 conference championship teams. Jessica started her collegiate swim career at Washington State and then transferred to UW-Eau Claire, where she set multiple records and was a 6-time NCAA All-American. And was the 2006 national champion in the 50 freestyle and a 26 top 10 record holder. In the World Championships, she was a 5-time place winner. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Jessica Kent Brandt. Our next inductee is Gretchen Bachmeyer. Gretchen graduated in 2009 and earned 10 letters in tennis, basketball, and track. In tennis, she was the #1 singles player for 3 years, a 3-year BRC singles finalist, the 2008 BRC #1 singles champion, and a 2008 state qualifier. In track, she set school records in the 800 meters, 4x4 meter relay, and the 4x8 meter relay. In the 800 meter run, she was a 4-time BRC champion, 4-time sectional champion, and a 4-time state qualifier. She was also a 4-time state relay qualifier. At UW-Eau Claire, Gretchen was a 4-year letter winner in tennis and a conference singles finalist. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Gretchen Bachmeyer. next inductee is Eric Skifstaff. Eric graduated in 2018. He earned 6 letters in soccer, track, and football. He has the distinction of earning 2 letters in different sports in the same season. He set 4 school records in track and still holds the school record in the 200 meters and the 4x400 meter relay. He was an all-conference in 2016 and 2018, team MVP in 2018, and the 2018 Senior Outstanding Athlete. He was a state qualifier for 3 years and a state medalist in 2018. Eric attended UW-Eau Claire and was a 3-time NCAA National Championship teams, an 8-time NCAA All-American, a 4-time NCAA Academic All-American, and a UW-Eau Claire team captain. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Eric Skifstaff. Our final inductee is Mason Phillips. Mason is a 2018 graduate who earned 6 letters in wrestling and baseball. In wrestling, Mason had a career record of 171 and 13. He is the school career record holder in wins, falls, and takedowns. He was a 4-time BRC champion, a 3-time North Outstanding Wrestler Award winner, the 2018 BRC Wrestler of the Year, the 2018 Leader Telegram Wrestler of the Year Award recipient, and the 2018 North High School Distinguished Athlete Award recipient. He was a 4-time state individual place winner, and in 2018 became North's first individual state champion of wrestling. In baseball, he was a member of North's 2017 and 2018 state tournament teams. Mason wrestled at St. Cloud State University, where he was a member of the 2019 National Championship team and an academic All-American. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Mason Phillips. North High School Athletics Hall of Famer.
The marching band is headed up by drum majors Hannah Stone, Cash Cerny, and Mary Mangan. Our first song is going to be the Queen Opener. Here we go, band.
We're all like, oh,
Continuing with the Queen theme, our next song is a Queen and David Bowie classic. This is Under Pressure. we have to end with the most classic Queen song. This is Bohemian Rhapsody.
Welcome back to Eau Claire North after that excellent halftime presentation as we inducted 5 new members into the Eau Claire North Hall of Fame, and the Husky Band put on one heck of a show there, and a couple of fireworks in the neighborhood as well, so adding to the festivities of tonight. So as we get set to bring you the second half here from Husky TV, the score is DC Everest 22, Eau Claire North 0. Quick little stat recap here for you from the first half. Zach Shipman was 2 for 5 for 16 yards. Both those receptions went to Aaron Solberg. Shipman is the leading rusher with 11 carries for 10 yards. Kind of hit hard with some sacks there. That chipped into that yardage total for him. For the Evergreens, Ty Roddy was 5 for 8 for 8 yards and a touchdown. That touchdown went to Xavier Edwards. He has 3 catches for 7 yards. Corbin Enzenroth is the leading rusher with 10 carries for 96 yards and 2 touchdowns. So, Coach Sturgis, as we get ready to bring you the second half here, what are a couple adjustments the Huskies are going to need to make to get back in this?
They just need to finish on offense. They've had a couple of solid drives that just kind of stalled out around midfield. Credit to DC Everest's defense, getting home on the quarterback pretty easily and often. Not much the Huskies are able to do. They had a little success in the pass game out on the perimeter, just on some short dink and dunks. So credit to DC Everest's defense for being really kind of stifling and really stingy. So offensively, just sustaining something and then finishing on the drive. Defensively, earlier in the game, especially first quarter, they were in the right positions. A lot of great pre-snap reads, putting them in a spot to be successful. But kind of broke down in the second half. A little bit of some field position issues. Combination of the offense not being able to move the ball there towards the end of the first half, and then also the kicking game also giving up quite a bit of field position in the punt game. So just tightening up the defense a little bit, getting back to the success they had and the calls they had in the first quarter, and then again offensively just capitalizing on the drives.
And we are back with you for the start of the second half. So Aaron Solberg getting ready to kick off for the Huskies. Back to return is Silas Weber. It looks like Andrew Bankston back there. Low line drive kick from Solberg is going to go into the end zone for a touchback. So the Evergreens are going to start first and 10 from their own 20. So a nice kick there by Solberg. Let's see if this Husky defense here can get off to a good start for Eau Claire North here in the second half.
Yeah, it's a big drive for both teams here. Up 22-0 the Evergreens. If they can drive this ball down, take some time off the clock, and put a full touchdown on the board, it's a big task to overcome for the Huskies. A big deficit there to overcome. So big drive for them. Also a big possession here for the Huskies defense. It'd be nice to get a 3 and out here. Really set a momentum swing here to start the second half.
So Rhodey in the backfield with Enzenroth. Man in motion for the Evergreens, and they're going to get it to on the swing pass out in the flat, and he's going to be taken down for a loss. Nice play there by Eau Claire North.
Evan Thurston, again, another junior that just didn't have many meaningful snaps at all as a sophomore on the varsity field. And you really see him over the past 3 weeks really just step up and be a standout on that defense, flying around the field, being very physical, probably one of the most physical defenders we have.
So going to bring up 2nd and 13 here for the Evergreens. Snap, hand to Enzenroth. He's going to try the right side, and he's tripped up there after a pickup of about 4. Looked like he had some space there, so a nice shoestring tackle from somebody on the inside there. And it's going to bring up a 3rd and about a 7 here for the Evergreens. Tyson Gorman on the tackle there.
I think the halftime fireworks are Coach Bernhardt sitting in his hot tub lighting out fireworks.
That might be. So 3rd and 7 here from the 23. Snap over the head of Rhodey. Gonna take it back, and he's gonna fall on it inside the 1. So the second time we've seen a missed snap for the Evergreens. It's gonna back them up inside their 1 and bring up a 4th down situation.
Good defensive stand here. I know he got a little bit of a break. The snap was high. It wasn't overly high, but again, that's the second time we've seen that, so the Evergreens are definitely capable of making some mistakes here. Now we just need a solid catch. Field position is going to be great here either way, so just make a solid, fair catch, or at least a catch with a little return.
Caden
Maintain
English going to
possession.
be doing the punting here for the Evergreens. His heels are on the back line of the end zone. Aaron Solberg back to return for the Huskies. Here's the snap, and kick is up, and an end-over-end short kick, and it'll land at about the 30. And it's going to take a little bit of a Everest roll, and it's going to be down at the 35. So good field position here for the Huskies to start the second half.
Offense is really going to be challenged here. You have to put points on the board. You have to get something, even if it's 3, something to at least capitalize on this. Great defensive stand right out of the gate. Couldn't ask for a better second half start for the Huskies.
So the student section is into it. They're ready to go. Huskies come out, 2 receivers. Heinbuck in the backfield with Shipman. Snap to Zach, and he's going to keep it. Looking to the right. He's going to try to turn the corner, and he's going to be wrapped up there for a loss of about 3. Just nothing going there for Eau Claire North in the run game, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and 13.
Brings up 2nd down.
That play just revolves around the right guard just being pretty sluggish out of his stance. That's supposed to be a power and go kick out the end and go inside that end, but he wasn't even able to get there before Shipman even did.
So 2nd and 13 for the Huskies. Snap to Shipman. He's got a little time looking for Solberg. He's going to get it to him on the edge, and he's going to be taken down after a pickup of about 3. So a long throw there all the way across the field by Shipman. Solberg did a nice job coming back and catching that football, and it's going to get it back to about the original line of scrimmage.
It is one thing our fans, people that have watched our live stream, parents, family, friends that have come to games, they do not appreciate the arm that Shipman has on him. He throws a very beautiful ball. It's just unfortunate that we're not able to see that shine as much as we wanted to this season with some limitations up front.
So 3rd and 9 from the 35. Snap to Shipman. He's under pressure. Makes one guy miss. Ball comes out, and
should have been a forward pass.
Incomplete pass. They are going to call it incomplete here. He's looking for Solberg there down the field, and I think he had him, just didn't quite have enough time to get that throw off. So 4th and 9 from the 35. Huskies going to kick this one away, try to pin the Evergreens deep.
Baseman's action is ruled incomplete.
Everest will be preparing for a fake here. This is kind of that awkward field position where you're always looking for a punt team to maybe try to fake. We know Solberg has that little rugby-style kick, and oftentimes that bodes well for a opportunity for some fakes. But you might want to see him just pin them back, pin them deep, and leave it up to the defense to have another nice stand.
Low line drive and angled out of bounds at about the 13, 14-yard line. So playing the field position game here. Nice kick by Solberg. And that is where the Evergreens are going to start 1st and 10.
You can see Solberg really rushing to get those kicks off. Doing a good job of what he needs to, but when you're rushing that quick, as we saw with that kick, just real inconsistent drops with the ball on those punts. Comes off the side of the foot a lot, just like that did.
Husky Fest is coming up on Saturday, November 1st. Purchase your tickets at Husky.
So 1st and 10 here for the Evergreens. Both Enzenroth and Bankston in the backfield with Rhodey here. He's going to he's actually going to keep it, rolling to his left, and it's going to be caught on the sideline there by number 3, Mason Hine. Really nice throw and catch by Hine there. Really nice coverage there.
Yeah, it was just a good all-around football play. Nice toss and catch. Good coverage by Elijah Edwards there. Can't ask for much more, just a perfectly placed ball.
So Rhodey rolling to his left, the left-handed quarterback made a really nice throw for a first down there to his receiver. Snap to Rhodey, hand to Enzenroth, and he's going to be taken down from behind there. Another nice play by that Husky defense. Tice Gorman there on the tackle.
Name we haven't heard much tonight. It'd be nice to see Tice get going here. Good-looking athlete that we could have a big impact on the game if he can get rolling.
So 2nd and 9 here for the Evergreens. They're going to give it to Edwards on the end around. He's got some space, and he picks up the first down. He's pushed out of bounds after a pickup about 12 or 13. So Xavier Edwards there on the end around.
Evan Thurston flowing to the ball, getting the push out of bounds.
It's first down for the Evergreens.
1st and 10, Everest. Enzenroth in the backfield with Rhodey. Rhodey's going to look to his right. He's under some pressure. He gets to Enzenroth on the screen. And he's going to be taken down after another first down for the Evergreens.
Evergreen's coach is calling a good game so far. Really keeping the Huskies line honest with these. We've seen a couple of screenplays now that have Huskies have covered up well, but they're getting enough out of them to pick up some nice chunks and some first downs. Anytime a football team, especially a high school football team, can be effective with a screen game, it becomes really dangerous.
So 1st and 10 here for the Evergreens. 7 minutes remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Score is Everest 22, Eau Claire North 0. Snap to Rhodey, rolling to his right this time. Looking downfield, he's under some pressure. Dumps off and wrapped up and pushed out of bounds is Andrew Bankston for a gain of 0. Nice play there by the Husky defense all around.
Yep, good coverage down the field. Good discipline by Elijah Edwards to stay back there, cover up the eligible receiver down on the end that caught that, and then close out and get him pushed out of bounds.
Seen a little bit more zone defense by the Huskies here on the back end, and they're doing a really nice job of keeping things in front of them so far tonight.
And that's a good thing to see out of this younger defense. Usually when you play zone defenses, it takes a little more discipline, knowing your pre-snap assignment.
Well, Bainston here over the right side, and ball is coming out. I think he held on to it. So had a little pressure from the backside and knocked the ball loose, but Bainston did a nice job of securing it and picks up another first down for the Evergreens.
Evergreens just pulled their right tackle and right guard around the end. Their tight end sealed the edge, pinned Caden Caldwell down. Nice pickup for them. Well blocked.
1st and 10 here from the 41. Hand off to Bainston, up the middle. And another trunk on the ground here as we start to see kind of what we had talked about. You know, Everest has that advantage up front, and they're really starting to lean on this Husky defense.
Yeah, it's just 7, 8 yards here and there. Whipping off a 12, 13-yarder as well. That's what they're capable of. The Huskies are doing a good job of not giving up the huge play at this point in time. Just maintain the composure and keep the ball in front of you. Wrap up, get 2 or 3 guys to the ball.
1st and 10 for the Evergreens at the Eau Claire North 31. Brody back to pass. Looking left, looking for Edwards on the double move, and he's got him. Really nice adjustment there by Xavier Edwards with the big pickup to set up a 1st and goal situation for the Evergreens.
That's just a big-time play, big-time adjustment by a kid that clearly has quite a bit of skill in football tack to him.
It'll be 1st and goal.
Those are the matchups that we know that Everest was looking to get into, where you have a linebacker on your number 1 receiver. Brady Andrew trying to cover him. Did a solid job. Just a great adjustment by the receiver.
1st and goal from the 9 here for the Evergreens. Hand off to Enzenroth, and he's going to be stacked up, but he bounces free for a 9-yard touchdown. And that is going to bring the score to 28-0.
Just a bunch of Huskies trying to arm tackle, real high with their pads, not wrapping up, stopping their feet on contact. Again, those are the fundamentals that we saw a little bit earlier in the season that we haven't seen the past couple of games. Clearly showed they're capable of doing those things. When you're late in the game, your momentum's not on your side, it's easy to give those things up.
And the extra point is up and good. So with 5:06 remaining in the 3rd quarter, that is going to bring the score to DC Everest 29, Eau Claire North 0. And we're back as Carson Kemps gets ready to kick off here for the Evergreens. Tyson and Solberg back to return for the Huskies. Deep end over end kick going to be taken by Solberg in the end zone, and that is going to be a touchback. So the Huskies will start from the 20. So that scoring drive, a 7-play, 86-yard drive, capped off by the 9-yard run by Enzenroth, which brings us to our score of 29-0.
We saw it again on that drive there after watching back some of the plays here. Huskies are in the right spot. I mean, we've seen it on a number of plays there. The defense is getting themselves in the right positions. It's just finishing the play, finishing the tackle, wrapping up, getting multiple guys to the ball. And that's just that physicality that they're going to need to step up and dig deep to somehow. I mean, you can't coach that. You can't teach that. It's just a decision they have to make to really decide to go make those plays.
So snap to Shipman, and we've got whistles here. Maybe a little bit of a false start. Not sure what the whistles were on that one.
March them back 5 yards. Legal formation.
Some kind of pre-snap penalty there on the Huskies, and it's going to back them up 5 yards. It's going to be 1st and 15.
Not enough men on the line. Be 5 yards back.
So not enough men on the line of scrimmage.
Procedure against the Huskies.
Huskies in a heavy look here. We've got 6 linemen in the game. The formation, I wouldn't be.
Snap to Shipman, hand to Heinbuck. And nice run there by Brody. Picks up about 6. Gets the penalty back, +1. Nice hard run there by Heinbuck.
Really good run to rip a nice quick 6 off. That's a formation I really like to see a little bit more, where they've got 6 linemen in the game. It's going to give a really nice matchup that forces Everest's hand to bring one more guy into the box. Have a nice matchup with Solberg or Tyson, either end there.
Snap here to Shipman, hand to Heinbuck, and he's got some space over the middle, down the right side, 40, 50, 40, and he's taken down from behind at the 35. Really nice run by Brody Heinbuck to set up a 1st and 10 for the Huskies.
That was a really nice run. He didn't pull away from anybody, ran through some arm tackles. Nice little nifty spin at the end. Really good confidence booster for him.
So little momentum here for the Husky offense. 1st and 10 at the 35. Snap to Shipman, rolling to his left. And he's got a little bit of space, runs through a couple tackles. He's going to be taken down for a gain of about 2. And it's going to bring up a 2nd and 8.
Asa Martin. It's 2nd down.
Huskies do seem to be playing a little bit more physical right now, which you love to see.
Seem to be having a little more success when they just kind of stick with a zone blocking scheme and slide and let the back make the decision.
2nd and 8. And to Cervantes here, and he is going to be wrapped up and taken down for a loss of about 2. So it's going to bring up a 3rd and 10.
Kind of in the field position game right now, where the Huskies can't get over that hump of like the 30-yard line and really get them in, even in the kicking range at this point in time. We've been right about this position a couple times, and Huskies have made some critical errors to either back them up or get them out, somehow get themselves out of field goal range.
So 3 minutes remaining here in the 3rd quarter. And the Huskies are going to have to take a timeout. A little bit of issue lining up there. So with 2:58 remaining in the 3rd quarter, with the score DC Everest 29, Eau Claire North 0, we're going to step away for a moment and be back with you shortly. 3rd and 10 here for the Huskies from the 35. Snap to Shipman, back to throw. Gets it to Solberg. Solberg puts his shoulder down and it gets enough for a first down. Really nice job by Aaron Solberg to get upfield there to pick up that first down.
Good, nice, just tough, hard-nosed play there by Aaron Solberg. Caught it easily at enough to get that first down, but was going to need another. Didn't have enough to get the first down, but was going to need a couple yards to get the first down, so he just lowered his shoulder, lowered the helmet, carried the momentum pass first.
1st and 10 at the 24 here. Snap to Shipman, hand to Heimbuck. He's got some room over the middle and drains a defender over the 15 and pick up about 9.
This is something we had a big debate about back when Coach Shire and I were coaching. Is horse collar tackle even a thing anymore? In high school football, I know it was not a penalty in the past.
I don't think it is.
It's an unfortunate thing.
Timeout called by the Huskies. This timeout
If it is, it was clearly a horse collar tackle.
I think Coach McGinnis is arguing that right there. And the official from behind there is saying that he just had the jersey. Certainly looked like he had Brody from inside of the collar of the jersey, which would be a penalty. But they do have, they seem to found something here with that heavy package. Open up a couple of nice holes for Heinbuck here. So nice adjustment by the Husky coaching staff.
And what I really like, what I see from Brody, what I really like is he sees the hole and gets through it. He's not waiting. He's not dancing around. He sees it, good vision, gets right through the hole into the second level.
So 2nd and 1 here. 2nd and probably less than 1. Shipman's going to roll to his right and almost intercepted there. Was looking for Burns underneath and knocked down by Jake Ruther.
Bringing a heavy package back in. At this juncture in the game, I think it's an easy call. This is 4-down territory for the Huskies. You got to get 6 here. 3 isn't going to do a whole lot for you.
So a good opportunity there on that 2nd and short for the Huskies to take a shot. And I don't think if Shipman doesn't get pressure in his face right away, I think he's got Burns for a touchdown. But 3rd and 1 here. They got to pick up this from the 14. Snap to Shipman. He's going to keep it. He's got some space. Looked like he got enough for the first down there. We'll see where he spotted. They are moving the chains. So it is going to be a first down for the Huskies.
Oh, okay. The near guy is holding up forward. The far guy gave him a first down.
So first down for the Huskies at the 14 here. Snap to Shipman, rolling to his left. And he's going to be met and stopped after a pickup of just a couple.
Zach Shipman, the ball carrier.
And, talking to Coach McGinnis this week, he kind of compared this Everest defense to New Richmond about how they just fly to the ball and they close so fast. And we're seeing that here. It looks like they've got things developing. And the pursuit from the Evergreens is really impressive.
It is, and it's been ingrained in the DC Everest football program for decades about playing through the whistle, going back to the legendary defensive coordinator and Mike Salter at DC Everest.
I'll get you a good Christmas present.
Yes, right, exactly.
So a little misdirection here from the Huskies. Solberg on the backside, and he's in for a touchdown! Aaron Solberg on the reverse hits the Huskies on the scoreboard as he scored from 12 yards out.
They tried that play earlier in the game and they did not have success with it, and it probably was more of a matchup and a formation type of a thing. Coach McGinnis makes a beautiful adjustment with that. Great call by Coach McGinnis there. getting the Huskies in the end zone for a touchdown.
Really impressive drive there by the Huskies. Picked up some crucial third downs, got a couple chunk plays, and just seemed to be playing with a lot more energy and physicality there than what we had seen so far today. So Solberg on for the extra point. Little high snap, but he gets the hold down, and the extra point is good. Solberg was roughed on the kick. Seems to be okay. They can tack that on to the kickoff. Looked like an Everest defender just kind of came through and looked to be more unintentional than anything, but he still made contact there with Solberg.
Good to see the Huskies get in the end zone there. Still a large task at hand with 1 minute left in the third quarter, 1:09 left in the third quarter here. Still a big task at hand, but beautiful night out, beautiful setting. No place would rather be. I tell you what are we at? September 26th. Time for pumpkin spice latte and the smell of skunk in the air. Got that smell? Or is it just me? It's pretty strong right now. Hopefully it's not roadkill nearby. I gotta walk home.
Run it into the kicker.
So we are going to get a roughing. They said running into, but I believe he meant roughing, so it was 15 yards. So Huskies are going to be kicking off from the DC Everest 45 here.
It's tempting to go for an onside kick with just this field position situation, but Everest clearly lined up. They're ready for it, so this is something you probably just boot through the uprights and give them the touchback. See if Solberg can put it on the Sinet's deck over there on the north end zone.
Solberg approaches and does just put this one into the end zone. So Everest is going to take over 1st and 10 from the 20. So 1:09 remaining in the third quarter. Score is DC Everest 29, Eau Claire North 7.
It is 1st and 10 from the 20 for the Evergreens.
Brody joined by Bankston in the backfield. The call goes to Bankston and runs through a couple of tackles there. So pick up about 6 on 1st down there. Tell you what, if we gave flags to the Husky faithful, I think we'd have a lot of holding penalties on Everest here tonight.
Yeah, and it is the old cliche of you can throw a holding call at any given play. That one seemed to be pretty obvious, but nonetheless, they play on.
So 2nd and 4 here from the 26. Snap to Rhodey. He's going to roll to his left. Looking downfield. Now he's going to tuck and run. And he's going to be swung down just before the 30, it looks like. So it's going to bring up a 3rd and short for the Everest offense. Clock ticks under 15 seconds here in the third quarter. And it looks like the Evergreens are going to be content to take this to the 4th quarter. So we will step away for a mistake in here. They're going to give them a 1st down now, but we are still going to take it to the quarter. So we will be back with you shortly. So 1st and 10 for the Evergreens on their own 30 here as we start the 4th quarter. Again, score DC Everest 29, Eau Claire North 7. Hand off to Bankston there, and he falls forward for a pickup of 4.
Tackle by number 5, Barrel. It'll be second down.
So 2nd and 6 here. I would have loved to recap that Husky scoring drive for you, but our statistician didn't give that to me, so you just have to use your memory to think about how the Huskies scored. Husky faithful still very much involved in this game, so 2nd and 6 for the Evergreens. Off to Tristan Gast this time, and he's got some room up the middle, and a shoestring tackle there by Evan Thurston. Maybe saved a touchdown, but a nice pickup there for the Evergreens.
Nice quick burst of speed from him, different pace out of the backfield there, threw something different at the Huskies. Nice little burst of speed out of him.
First and 10 here for the Evergreens. Gast in the backfield again with Rhodey. And Rhodey's going to keep this one. Looking to throw, and it is tipped up by a Husky defender there. Looked like Owen Rupert might have got a hand on that.
Owen Rupert with a nice break on the ball.
Number 29, Owen Rupert.
Seeing the Huskies D-line a little gassed right now. We saw a little more pressure earlier in the game. Start seeing pads popping up, high pads, stopping their feet. Kenton Mondu right over the ball. Been a busy night for that young man.
So 2nd and 10 from the 49. And handoff to Gast here over the right side. And we got a flag as Gast spins forward for a first down. We'll see what the call is here.
Tristan Gast, the ball carrier. There's a penalty on the play.
Be a hold on Everest.
Might have been the first time I didn't hear the Husky crowd yelling for a hold. So it's going to back them up 10 and bring up a 2nd and 20.
These are those situations, and we talked about in previous weeks where the Huskies get a break like this now, and we'll have 2nd and 20. And this is the time where the Huskies really need to step up. And in the past, we've seen them give up some big plays after a break because they just mentally maybe lose focus or take a play where they just take a mental break. Really nice to see them with this opportunity lock in, make a big stop here.
This time Rhodey's got Edwards on a slant, and nice pursuit there by the Huskies, but a pickup of about 15 there, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and 5 situation. Nice job by the Evergreens there. Went trips left and then just threw that backside slant to Edwards. So 3rd and 5 here. 4 wide look here for the Evergreens. Bankston back in the backfield with Rhodey. Rhodey's going to drop back to throw, and it's a screen to Bankston. And he's got some space and some blockers. 15-10, breaks a tackle, and he's in for a touchdown. Andrew Bankston on the touchdown there for the Evergreens. And that is going to push the score to 35-7.
Said it a little earlier after a couple of successful screens. Everest playing that screen game very well. Almost like a chess match, inserting screens right at the perfect time. Like I said, if they can be any high school team that's effective with a screen game is going to be very, very successful because it keeps the D-line so honest And the D coordinator's just kind of trying to play that chess game of when that screen is going to come out.
Kempf on to attempt the extra point. Snap, hold, kick up, and good. And with 9:40 remaining in the fourth quarter, it is DC Everest 36, Eau Claire North 7.
One thing that they were pretty close to on there, I know in high school football, the ball has to be caught behind the line of scrimmage in order for a lineman to be downfield. That ball was caught, I believe that was caught behind the line of scrimmage. So Everest may have gotten away with one there, but that's definitely something in the screen game. I know a lot of couch coaches, as you would say, you watch them at NFL games wondering why an illegal man downfield gets called on screen plays because they are used to the high school rules where you can have an offensive lineman downfield as long as the ball is caught behind the line of scrimmage.
So Everest cashes in there on the 7-play, 80-yard scoring drive there with the 43-yard touchdown pass from Brody to Bankston. So Kempf getting set here to kick this one away. And a deep kick going to be taken by Solberg right at the goal line. Running to his right, he's going to be cut down. Nice tackle there by the Everest special teamer. And the Huskies are going to take over at about the 14-yard line. Number 33, Michael Shepp, made a nice play there on special teams to cut down Solberg.
Very nice play. And again, that's I know we've said it a million times tonight, but that's the style of football you're going to see from DC Everest. Just flying down the field, doesn't matter what the score is, whether they're up by 29 or down by 29. DC Everest is going to fly around the field.
First and 10 for the Huskies, 5 wide here, and a little hard count there, and they're going to draw the Evergreens offside, so that's going to be a free 5 yards for the Huskies.
Penalties encroachment against the Evergreens.
Huskies going on the empty backfield right now. I know we saw a little more success with that heavy package. Everest showing that they're bringing 3, and likely a 4th will come after the snap.
The Shipman gets it out of his hands quick, up the middle, and I believe that was Burns on the catch down the seam. And it's going to be enough for a first down. Out to the 29-yard line. So nice quick pass there by Shipman down the seam to Burns.
We're seeing Everest front 3 really confuse the Huskies. They're shifting protection, and they're always bringing somebody free, either up the middle or around the edge. So something the Huskies O-line has to get cleaned up here.
Shipman on the carry here. He's got some space over the right side. Nice block by Solberg. And Shipman's going to be pushed out of bounds at about the 46. So a nice run there by Zach Shipman on the edge. And big gain there for the Huskies into Everest territory.
Shipman probably got away with a little bit of a hold there, but irrelevant nonetheless. Solberg. Good pull by Kenton Mondu there. That's where you see a big time D1 athlete there pulling around all the way from the tackle side, getting around the corner and really kind of help set that edge.
And a Heinbuck here. He's going to bounce that one outside and not going to go anywhere. That's kind of the first time we've seen today Brody kind of try to bounce that outside and ended up losing 4 on the play.
Yeah, and that's that play. That's that power off the left side where we're seeing Kenton kind of crush down and collapse that side and waiting for the other guard or tackle to come kick out, and they're not getting there in time. And Brody's getting to the edge before the pullers are getting there.
They're gonna fake the pitch and looking over the seam. He's got Burns again and picks up a first down to the 31. So a little misdirection there by the Huskies. And another first down from Shipman to Burns.
Nice little nifty play there. It definitely keeps DC Everest on their heels a little bit now. Coach McGinnis digging a little bit deeper into that playbook. I'd like to see a little bit more of that here now. Again, at this point, 8-10, down 29. It's probably a hill they can't quite overcome at this point, but at least still get some momentum going in here and some positive outcome for this varsity offense.
Shipman looking to his right. He's got Solberg, makes the catch at about the 26 and drives forward for another yard or so.
Is complete to number 1, Aaron Solberg.
Nice pickup, about 5 or 6 on first down, and the Huskies. Now this is back-to-back drives where they've moved the ball really well, against this Everest defense.
It's second down.
You see Everest still with a lot of varsity guys in, maybe trickling a couple of their JV guys in at this point in time.
Clock ticks towards 7 minutes here. Snap to Shipman, and he is met in the hole and dropped by number 29, Braden Vang. The sophomore linebacker came free unblocked there.
Yeah, he just shot a gap. Guessing it was a run blitz pre-snap. He was in a kind of a runner stance. No hope for Shipman on that play.
So 3rd and 8 here for the Huskies. Shipman looking deep. He's got Solberg and just off the fingertips. Aaron Solberg had his man beat. Shipman put a nice ball up there, but just a little too much air underneath it. And it's going to bring up a 4th and 8 on the 30 for the Huskies. So 4th down here for the Huskies. Need the 22 for a first down. Snap to Shipman. And he's under pressure, and he's going to be taken down for a sack at the 40-yard line, and that is where Everest is going to take over. 1st and 10 here in the 4th quarter.
It'll be 1st and 10 for the Evergreens.
You'd really like to see him just be able to throw that up, but he wasn't even able to really step into anything there. Just a tough break for the Huskies there. Hoping to get another score on the board.
So 6:33 remaining in the 4th quarter. Score is DC Everest 36, Eau Claire North 7. Handoff here to number 27, Robert Clay, the senior running back.
Tackle number 54, Brady Andrew. It's second down.
So we're seeing a few different running backs here sub in for the Evergreens. Rhodey is still in the game. Now number 5, Jediah McCrary is in the backfield. McCrary. Hand off to McCrary up the middle. Makes a couple of guys miss, runs through some tackles, and is eventually taken down into North Territory. Nice run there by McCrary. Sophomore running back. Some young, talented players here for this Everest team.
Yeah, and they're deep. Again, this is a true varsity squad by Everest. They typically don't travel their JV squad. So what we're seeing here is their true varsity squad. So they clearly have depth. They're clearly pretty loaded with some pretty good-looking athletes.
here to Clay up the middle, and he's going to be taken down. Nice tackle there by Nick Loken, the senior linebacker.
Good to see the Huskies still playing hard right now. Coach Anderson trying to trickle in some of his younger guys, or maybe a senior here and there, doesn't see the field that much, but still while maintaining the integrity of some starters in the game.
So 2nd and 8 here for the Evergreens. Snap, hand to McCrary up the middle, and breaks free, and eventually taken down there by Evan Thurston with a nice tackle. It's going to be close to a first down.
Brady Andrew down on the field.
Looks like Brady Andrew injured on the play, so we will step away for a minute and be back with you shortly. Seemed to pop up there and run off under his own power, which is good to see. So 3rd and 1 here for the Evergreens, 4.5 minutes remaining. We see a new quarterback for the Evergreens who is not on the roster. And to McCrary here over the right side. He's got some space, and he's going to be pushed out of bounds by Elijah Edwards after a big gain. And it's going to bring up a 1st and 10 at the Eau Claire North 20-yard line.
Edwards with his eyes in the backfield, got a little caught inside. Easy bounce up and a quick 20 pickup for Everest.
Roll to his right, and he's got a receiver just a little bit high there. We've got a flag here that came in late after the play, and it's going to be a hold on Everest.
There is a penalty on the play.
Holding. What? 10 yards.
So 1st and 20 here for the Evergreens. Hand off to McCrary over the left side again. Spins forward. Eventually taken down by Gorman there. Caden Caldwell a little slow to get up. Hand off to Clay here, up the middle. And taken down by a host of Huskies after a pickup of about 7 or 8. As the clock ticks under 3.5 minutes here.
You know, it's easy at this juncture of the game to kind of sit back and say, you know, well, the game's in the bag and there's not much left here. But I think this is a rule. It's times like these for any team. You Everest is doing a good job of getting some young guys in and getting them some experience and trying to, kind of break them into the game. And the Huskies, this is just, it's a point in the game where it's still about some pride here. It's easy just to kind of roll over and say the game's done and just play the game you've been playing. But really like to see the Huskies bear down here and keep them out of the end zone, just maintain some of that pride.
So 3rd and 9 from the 19. Hand off to Clay here, and he's going to be met by a number of Huskies who dropped for a short loss. So it's going to bring up 4th and 10 from the 20-yard line. And the Evergreens are going to bring on the kicking team here. Going to try a field goal. So this is going to be a 37-yard field goal here for the Evergreens. Quick shout out to Husky superfan Colleen O'Leary, watching from home again, I'm sure. So Kempf lining up the field goal here. Kick is up and good. Just enough on that one from 37. So a nice kick there from Carson Kempf. And that is going to push the score to DC Everest 39, Eau Claire North 7.
Avery Hernandez back deep for the Huskies.
So 1:41 remaining here in the ball game. Evergreens lead 39-7. Here's the kick by Kempf. Going to be fielded by Tyson there. Dropped and picked up. And he's going to look for a little space here on the right side. He's got a little space and avoids a couple of tacklers and eventually taken down at the 16-yard line. So with 1:31 remaining in the fourth quarter, the Huskies are going to take over 1st and 10 on their own 18-yard line. And looks like Gavin McMullen is going to take over at quarterback here for the Huskies. Joined in the backfield. I'm trying to get a number here on who that is. Number 34 there on the carry. Don't have a number. Or don't have a name, I should say, to go along with who that was. So clock ticks under a minute here. Snap to McMullen. Handoff here. Going to try the left side. Going to try the edge. Going to be wrapped up and taken down for a loss back to the 5-yard line there. And it's going to bring up 3rd and a few.
Number 34, the Huskies with the carry. No name was in the program.
Everest students are chanting happy homecoming. That's nice of them to send their well wishes.
Very, very kind.
I don't know if they intended to be that way, but we'll take it that way. So McMullen up the middle there for a gain of a couple, and that is going to take us to the end of this one. So we wrap up here from Eau Claire North with the final score, DC Everest 39, Eau Claire North 7, and we will be back with you in a couple weeks when the Huskies are back home to, I believe, take on the Marshfield Tigers. So thank you for joining us tonight. I am Jordan Fish signing off for my color commentator Adam Sturgis and our statistician Dan Shire. Thank you for joining us.
39.